Hello, everyone. This is Mandy Solacek from Premier Marketing's Long-Term Care and Short-Term Care Department. Today, we are super excited to have Aetna here with us to talk to us about their short-term care products. They've got a few people with them here today to talk about different aspects of it. So I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Tony Clark so he can introduce them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mandy. I want to thank all the folks at Premier for helping us put this on, and I hope all the agents out there that are listening in can take some good information away from what you're about to hear. I think we've got a great panel for you this morning. We've got some great speakers. We kind of, like Mandy said, we have quite a few speakers. I wouldn't say quite a few, but more than probably normal. But we want to go ahead and give you a different perspective. Everything from, how the product works as far as the recovery care versus the home care plus. We're going to have a little bit of information on that to show you how those work. And that'll be Jamie Sarno. We'll be presenting that information. And then our second guest speaker you'll hear from, it's great to have him on a call because I know he's super busy, like everybody is. But we'll have our head of underwriting, Chris Pike. And he's going to talk to you about our well, it may be new to some of you, depending on how long you've been with us, but talk about our auto underwriting and how our prescription drugs fit and how everything works with our short-term care products. And then lastly, we'll have Dan Memory. He's my regional sales manager in the West region. And Dan isn't going to really be presenting anything, but he's going to talk to you a little bit about our quote and enroll tool, as well as our mobile quoting tool that you can put on your phone, et cetera, and show you really a way to or talk to you about utilizing some great tools where you can do everything electronically, everything from submitting the app to quoting and so forth, and not even have to worry about using any paper to run your quotes or submit your business. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Jamie Sarno to talk a little bit about the Recovery Care and the Home Care Plus product.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Great to be here as always. And we're going to go through these slides pretty quick because I really want you all to hear Chris Pike. He is who I go to for any and all things underwriting and how things work. And he's a wealth of knowledge. So can't wait to have him on here. But we're going to just kind of refresh ourselves on the Aetna plan. So here's the Recovery Care Plan, which remember, this is the short-term nursing home, assisted living, and home health care. Of course, it's got a yes/no application, quick view underwriting drug list, because we want you to know if the plan that you're about to submit electronically or paper, we're hoping electronically, but we want to make sure that you have a 99.9% chance that this is going to be approved, and that drug list only helps us as agents, you as agents, to know, yes, we can submit this and it's going to go through. So that's a great tool for all of us agents. There is no underwriting phone interview, which is wonderful. No medical records required to issue this plan. They are not going to order medical records unless there's a claim within the first 2 years, and then they'll order them, but not to issue the plan. Yes.
So sorry to interrupt, but it looks like your slides aren't moving.
Oh. I don't know. What can you see on the screen? I apologize.
We can still just see the Aetna logo.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
okay.
There we go. Now I can see the next slide that you're on.
I'm not in presentation mode, so we will try this. I don't know what's going on with this, but I will see if I can move forward by. I'm sorry. Let's see here.
Hey, Jamie, let me jump in here real quick while you're doing that. Everybody, this is Tony again. And one thing I didn't mention that I wanted to as we were starting out, if I know you folks will have some questions, and probably a lot of questions when Chris talks more of the underwriting aspect. So if you wouldn't mind, just jot down your questions or type them in the chat box there, the question box. And what we think, we'll have a little Q&A session at the end once everybody gets through their presentation and talk and so forth. So if you'll do that, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. And can you see my full screen now? Hopefully so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So you're going to see my slides. They're not going to be moving, which is no big deal. But you can see no medical records required to issue, no hospital stay required. e-app available with personal security question signature. We all know how important this is, especially now doing everything remotely as far as taking applications electronically. Instead of bouncing an email to get an electronic signature, Aetna has a great way, and that is just you choose. It's much like when you're picking a password for your banking. You just scroll through the different questions. For instance, what's your high school mascot? The one that I like is, what is your mother's maiden name? Once they give you the answer to that question, you, the agent, type it in, hit enter, it signs everything for the applicant. Nothing has to bounce back to the applicant, which is huge. Renewal premiums. Here's another big one. Renewal premiums do not increase because of an age change or health change. You know, we have competitors that they change the premium once the insured gets to a different health bracket. Like from 65 to 69, it's one price. From 70 to 74, it's another price. And they may not use their policy for years and years, which is a good thing. All of a sudden, they get a rate increase just for having a birthday. You will not find that with an Aetna plan. Recovery Care will never do that to them. And of course, we all know the trusted household name. This is another point where we stand out. We have many financial planners, estate planners contacting us now to offer this plan to their clientele because it has the name Aetna attached to it. Not only is it great benefits, great premium, but it has to have a name and a record of being an A-rated company. So you can't beat the Aetna plan as far as a trusted household name goes. Now, benefits. Ages 50 to 89 are the issue ages. No gender-based rates. Male and female rates are the same. Another standout from other companies, we have no height and weight chart. Also, there's hospital coverage that you can include with this plan. It does require a $10 per day of hospitalization, but you can also choose any benefit from $10 to $300 a day for the hospital, with a lifetime maximum of 365 days. Also, the plan will pay in addition to any other insurance that they have, meaning no matter if it's nursing home, home care, assisted living, hospitalization, it doesn't matter if another insurance pays the bill in full, or maybe the benefit is more than what the bill is. For instance, maybe they were only charged $200 per day and the benefit's $300. Aetna Senior Supplemental is going to pay the full $300, and they will pay directly to the insured unless the claim is assigned to the provider. So that's very good to know. It's a true indemnity plan. Now, going over to the nursing facility care. On the right side, you will see you can choose a daily benefit for nursing home or assisted living anywhere from $10 to $300 per day. And that's any licensed nursing facility. So does it have to be Medicare approved? No. Can it be any licensed nursing facility? Yes. So, you know, Medicare doesn't always approve the nicest nursing homes in the area. They're a little too expensive. They don't want the Medicare or Medicaid dollars that have to come in to be paid. They want self-paying people or people that have long-term care, short-term care. You can go to any facility as long as it's licensed by the state, and that goes for nursing home or assisted living. Also, you can choose a benefit period of 90 days, 100 days, 270 days, or 360. So it's just shy of a year because 365 days of benefit would mean it would be a long-term care plan. Anything under 365 is considered short-term care. And it will pay all levels of care in a nursing facility, skilled, intermediate, and custodial care. And you can also choose a waiting period. All of you know in the long-term care world, we call it an elimination period. With short-term care, we just call it really what it is, a waiting period. And you can choose 0-day, 20-day, or 100-day wait. Now, the only rider that is offered on this plan is the home care rider, which it is packed with a lot of benefit because you can choose any type of home health care agency you like as long as it's licensed by the state. So what that means is it will pay a medical or non-medical home health care agency. And we all know Medicare will only pay for a medical. It has to be a physical therapy, a speech therapy, respiratory therapy. And we all know that Medicare will only pay for intermittent care. That's like 1 hour every other day. With this plan, you can have agencies like Visiting Angels, where they perform not only the ADLs, but cooking, shopping for groceries, taking you to the doctor. All of these things that typically aren't covered, but you need to stay at home, this plan will do. And the benefit is not a daily benefit, it's a weekly benefit, and it's $150 increments. You can go up to $1,200 per week, and you can choose the covered weeks you'd like. So you can choose 13 weeks, 26 weeks, or 52 weeks. Now, that 52 weeks is separate and different than the 360 days above. So if you add the home care rider for 52 weeks and you've offered a 360-day nursing home assisted living, you have 2 years of uninterrupted care, a year of nursing home and a year of home health care. You can use them any way you like. And both of those have a lifetime maximum of twice their benefit. If you have a 360-day plan, you can use 360 twice in a lifetime. Same with home care rider, 52 weeks, twice in a lifetime. Now, I want to give you a little bit different here. This graphic would have been hilarious if it worked, but it didn't. So I want to show you that's a Texas only. This is big for Texas. The first time we've talked about it. There's going to be a standalone home care plan in Texas. Now, we do have what's called Home Care Plus, but this is a new plan. And the reason it exists is because the rider I just showed you on recovery care for the home health care portion is not available in Texas. So we wanted the great state of Texas to be able to offer the great home care that's available like in that rider. So now in July, there will be a launch date set where this will be available in Texas. Like I said, not yet, but you're going to find that they've increased the benefits only for Texas, where you can go up to $3,000 a week. There is no deductible or elimination period, and we spell out in plain language that you can have medical, personal, homemaker, and companion care types of home health care coming in. So we're very excited about it. That's coming to Texas. And what triggers the benefit? How do I use this plan? How do your clients use the plan? Well, it's much like long-term care where as long as they cannot perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, only 2 of those benefits will start. And who determines they cannot perform those activities? Their own doctor. There is no Aetna doctor that's going to second guess their physician. Or they can be cognitively impaired. They may be able to perform all the activities, but they've been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. That will activate benefits. Also, with the home health care, the same triggers apply. There's one added thing, and I think this is a very big thing. You know, you don't have to have home care every day and submit, okay, home care was in my home for 5 hours this day, 6 hours this day, and submit all those bills. As long as the insured is getting 3 weekly 1-hour visits on separate days during the week. And a week is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's what a week is considered. As long as they're getting 3 1-hour visits, they're going to get their full $1,200 benefit. Or in Texas, after July, their $3,000 benefit. Very easy to use. Now, I want you to see the questions. This is very important with Chris coming up, and I'm going to be done here in 3 minutes. So, yes or no application. And it may look like a lot of questions, but it's really not. Currently, are you hospitalized, bedridden, receiving home health care? Most people are going to be able to say no to that. In the past 36 months, have you had congestive heart failure, internal cancer, Alzheimer's, AIDS? Most people are going to be able to answer no to that. In the past 24 months, oxygen use. Have you had a stroke? Hospitalized 3 or more times? That tells me they can be hospitalized 2 times in the past 24 months, and they're still eligible. Diabetes with insulin. If they have 49 units of insulin daily or less, they are eligible for this plan. If it's 50 and above, they're not eligible. I think that's a game changer because most people that have diabetes with insulin, they won't even consider with other carriers. And in the past 12 months, have you had any seizures? Do you have any pending treatment, tests, or surgeries? So as you can see, not hard to get. They do a very good job of asking the right questions and without excluding a lot of people. So recovery care, here's the national footprint. And we're going to move on very quickly to Home Care Plus. Now, I will tell you, this plan is an amazing plan. It does all the same things that recovery care does as far as no height and weight chart, quick view underwriting drug list, no underwriting phone interview, no medical records to obtain, no hospital required. Premiums do not increase because of age or health changes. And it's important to note this, recovery care, Home Care Plus have never had a rate increase. Aetna, Continental Life has had short-term care since 1996. They have never had to have a rate increase, and very proud of that. Now, an important thing to remember is this. Here's the difference in the home health care plan. And this is, if you hear anything today, listen to this. This home health care plan will pay for medically necessary home health care. It's not going to pay for, for visiting angels type home health care. So if they're getting 3 visits on separate days during 1 week, they're going to get the full $1,200. So it would need to be, and you see it there on the right-hand side, medically necessary home care, therapy visit, physical, speech, occupational, intravenous therapy, and antibiotics, wound care, up to $1,200 per week, 52 weeks, and a lifetime maximum equal to twice the number of covered weeks. Meaning, if you choose a 52-week plan or a 13-week plan or 22-week, you can get twice that in a lifetime, provided 6 months are in between the stays. And as you can see from the application, very simple application. It goes back, are you currently, and it will ask the same type of questions. Are you confined to a hospital, nursing facility, or wheelchair? Are you receiving hospice? Are you bedridden or receiving home health care? Can you perform the ADLs? And then lastly, 12-month look back. That's all this plan has. So if your client, your applicant cannot receive or get the recovery care plan, Home Care Plus is a great alternative to recovery care. And that there's only a 12-month look back for cancer, for heart attacks, for strokes. Have you been hospitalized 2 or more times in the past 1 year? They can be hospitalized one time and they can still get this. So it's a great plan, great alternative, and here is the national footprint for that. So as I said, that's just a quick review of those. I want to go over to Chris Pike, and any of you old Star Trek fans, unfortunately, it's not that Chris Pike, but it's the next best thing, head underwriter for Aetna. We love this guy. Chris, are you there?
I am here, Jamie. Thanks. I appreciate that. Glad to be here too. Again, got to make sure I show you all the right screen. I don't want to give all the secrets away. Are you able to see that? Let me ask this first, then we'll put it into presentation mode.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, we can see it, Chris.
How about that?
Perfect.
Is that better? So Jamie and Tony, when they teed this up, you know, we're talking about how I want to talk a little bit about auto underwriting. When I joined Aetna a couple of years ago, I had a chance to go to a agency sales rally, and it was the first time I had met Jamie in person. He and Tony were there, and Jamie went through this presentation around recovery care and the home care plus products and how to use the two products. And I was really, I'll say, underwriting green with Aetna at that time. I'd had a prior underwriting background with State Farm Insurance, State Farm Bank, and in the mortgage business, but never in health insurance. But I was interested in what he was talking about there because we had just started working on this automated underwriting, and we started out with our Medicare supplement products with the idea that based upon that success, we would roll this out to our other products. So I sort of gave Jamie a heads up at that point in time. And then I remember last summer talking about getting ready to roll this out on our other products, and we'd had some great experience. We're going to learn from it. He was going to love it and everything. And so we went forward with that, and we now use the process in general that I'm going to walk y'all through on all of the products that Aetna has out on the marketplace, and the other companies where we're in a third party type of arrangement, they use this process too. And I think you'll be excited with some of the things that I show you in light of and what you learned from what Jamie showed you there. When I show you how the automated underwriting really helps your business out, this was a good deal for all of us. We work with a vendor by the name of Milliman to obtain a copy of the applicant's prescription history, and on some of our products, their medical claim history. So we get we have access to data sources that provide us if they've gone to a physician for treatment, that treatment has billed the insurance company for certain services and is looking for reimbursement. We have access in some cases to that type of data. We don't have as great a access to the medical data as we do the prescription history, but it's been pretty successful. We do not use that data though on these products. We use the prescription history only. One day we may decide it makes sense to use that information, but right now, this is the way we've got this set up is we're getting the results we're looking for. We're really looking to streamline the process. We don't believe we're taking on more risk than we anticipate and things like that. But if you look at that, 92% of that, so 92 out of 100 apps we receive, we get a hit with that will contain either medical or prescription information or medical information. 8% of the time, there's nothing there. We can't identify the customer. It could be they've moved, whatever the case is, but for some reason we aren't able to get a hit. It could be that the providers they go to don't subscribe to that database. If we do get information back, more than half the time, we make an immediate decision on that application. I'm giving you averages across all our products right now because I'll show you the recovery care and home care plus here numbers in just a minute, but just think about that. 1 out of 2 times we make an immediate, what I call the yes no decision. And then in those cases right out of the gate, where based on the electronic application submitted and the information that came back in that prescription history report and our business rules, we can get a decision almost 9 out of 10 times, 90% of the time we say yes. So people used to ask, well, is there a way I can bypass the auto underwriting and just have an underwriter actually look at this for me? And it's really to the point of, why would you want to do that? Because half the time we're going to say yes right out of the gate, and that's across all of our products. 10, 12% of the time, it's an immediate decline. But if you think about that, in the case of these 2 products, that's going to be because a medication showed up on the consumer report that we obtained from the vendor that indicates it's for treatment of one of those questions on the health application. It's one of those health questions that were on the application, and it's going to be within one of the time frames Jamie was describing. It's not going to be, it could be used for this and it may be used for that. We wouldn't auto decline that. We would let our underwriters take a look at that and make that final decision for you, if that makes sense. Don't really pay attention to the prompt underwriting. Jamie covered a lot of that. Again, we don't do a telephone interview on any of our products anymore. We used to do that up front on quite a number of these. If you use the e-application, we will give you a decision and a decision back in typically 5 minutes or less. There may be situations on some products where we want to call and clarify information. It would be based on either something on the application or something we saw in the consumer report. But those typically take 5 minutes or less. But look over here at the 2 highlighted rows over here. For our recovery care product, green, yellow, red, think traffic light, right? Green approved, red decline, yellow kick to an underwriter for review. For a recovery care product application, if you submit that through the e-app, 82% of the time, I'm going to tell you yes or no right away. And of that, 94% of the time, I'm going to say yes. So slam dunk as far as underwriting. Complete the application, ask them all the questions. If they can indicate no to all the health questions, there's no meds on the drug list, that's the type of response you're going to get back from us. If by chance they're taking a medication that disqualifies them, like Jamie said, if the home care benefits can be used, 97% of the time we say yes or no right away, and 99% of that time we say yes. So, I mean, it's as much automatic underwriting as you can imagine as far as that goes. So our team will be here to support that for those that kick out for a review, and we'll work through those as they come up. Not going to pay much attention to this because there may be some questions or anything out there. Before I kick it over to Dan, this would just tell you how, in the event that we do decline an application, it's because of information in the consumer report. That highlighted website is the best way for your customer to get a copy of that consumer report should they need it. You can call and we will give you information on what caused that application to be declined. And if the customer says, wait a minute, I don't think that's true, this would be how they get a copy of that, and then they can work with Milliman to correct that information. You can call and leave voicemail, but I would go to this website, input the demographic information, and then they will verify that and reach out and get the customer a copy of the report. We're putting a lot of pressure on the vendor to make that experience better for your customer when they do have cases where they need that. And we hope before we get into the October AEP season that the customer would actually be able to input their demographic information, verify who they are, and then they would have access to that consumer report right away. So hopefully we continue to make that process better when you have to get to that point. And some things that we wanted to just clarify, and I'll let Jamie jump back in here if we need to on this, but I think there were some questions on with these products of any type of connective tissue disorder. I think the 36-month question may mention that, and ongoing treatment and things like that. So just for clarification, that we will consider 3 what we would call connective tissue disorders, the fibromyalgia, polymyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis. Those are the only three that we will consider. It's case by case. It's really based on how they're being treated. The bottom highlighted information is most important here. If you are, and this applies across the board, but in this case, again, if an individual's prescribed a medication that's on the drug list, we won't accept that. Or if it's for any other connective tissue disorder other than the three listed up above that are highlighted, the fibromyalgia, polymyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis, it would also be a decline, and you don't need to submit that, or the underwriter will decline that. It will likely come back as an auto decline because our business rules are set up to account for that. So just clarification there, we can accept, something that's being treated with, just anti-inflammatory type medication is perfectly acceptable. We can have that. And in some cases, I'll just stop right there for that. Second thing, there are also some questions around further evaluation. I think it's, on this application, Jamie, I get confused. This one may be question 5 or somewhere in that neighborhood, but it's asking if they've been advised. Did I get that right, Jamie?
I think you're right.
So it's asking if the applicant's been advised to have treatment, further evaluation, any testing that hadn't yet been performed. They must answer yes to that question if the procedure is for the purpose of a diagnosis or is the actual treatment. But if it's just routine type of general purpose monitoring of someone's health, they can absolutely answer no every time and just move on past that question. So here's a quick list of some examples, and I think I'm going to wrap things up and kick it back over to Dan and Tony on this. If y'all can see that the further eval, routine versus diagnostic type of testing. I condensed these. There's a lot of stuff on there, but just I'll leave it up there for you to take a look at if that information helps. One of the things that we're in the process of working through is the ability to have a type of producer guide for these type of products, much like we do for our Medicare supplement products. We haven't called that out historically, but we'll see what we can do down the road. But if you have any questions about those, we're happy to entertain that. The last thing is some kind of Star Wars stuff, or Star Trek stuff, as Jamie talked about earlier. We would love to be able to have the ability for you to input certain medications and us to really give you an idea if these are the medications. You'd have some online ability to know what products, should nothing else show up, that they would be able to qualify for. We're taking steps at it, but we know that we can do some work with the medications. It's a little different on our med sup because we use the claim history also, so that's not as much of a possibility. But so we think about the ability for a potential customer to give you all that information. You can key in those medications, and we would potentially tell you that they would certainly qualify for recovery care, and if not, we know the home care is an option for them too. So it's a little vaporware right now. They're working on that, but we hope to have that continue to make some progress as we get into the near future. But the auto underwritings really set us up leaps and bounds. And with that, I will stop and
If I can interject one thing here, Chris, that was awesome as always. And I just want to say, so everyone gets the feel of this man, that from day one when we met at this, he has been 100% for the agents and trying to make things easier for us as agents, because they don't want to be declining policies. They want to they want to help the agent, help the people get the insurance, and make it easy and clear. So I hope that really helped. He is there for all of you. That underwriting department really wants to make things better for all of us. So I just wanted to add that, and didn't mean to take away from you, Dan. Great job, Chris. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jamie. Hey everyone, this is Dan Memory. I'm the regional sales manager for the Western region with Aetna Supplemental. And you just got a great overview of the products from Jamie and our underwriting process from Chris. And unlike them, I have no Star Trek or Star Wars knowledge. I don't even know if I've seen all of the Star Wars movies. But as Jamie just mentioned, a big part of what we do is making your lives easier. And I would say, by far and away, the biggest suggestion that I can give you to doing that is do everything you can electronically. It will make your life so much easier and save you so much time versus submitting paper applications. Are we always going to have paper apps and quoting sheets? Probably so. I can't see those going away anytime in the near future. But it's funny. It's kind of an inverse relationship here. I think we get over 90% of our applications come in electronically. And it seems like about 90% of the agent calls I get that have some sort of issue with either pricing, premium payment is under or over what it should be, or there's an application issue. When those calls come in, the first question I ask the agent is, did you submit it on paper or electronically? And it's almost always submitted on paper. So there are a couple different ways to do quoting electronically. One is through our AETNAseniorproducts.com website. Once again, AETNAseniorproducts.com. You can run quotes, do electronic enrollments. You can order supplies and materials. You can access all of the collateral marketing materials for every product that we offer in every state very quickly and easily, just sorting by state, and then you've got access to all of the product materials at your fingertips. But as Jamie said, the application using the security question signature, it is, and yes, I'm slightly biased. I work for Aetna, but having submitted applications with a number of different carriers, it is the coolest app tool I've ever seen in my life. You literally control 100% of the application submission process and don't have to rely on that back and forth with your client of, I'm going to send you the application to sign off on, and then they're telling you that they've signed it and you can't figure out what's going on. The app is in limbo. Well, it turns out they actually have not signed it. You control that process 100%. And as Jamie said, there are a couple different ways to do the security question signature. The two favorites that I have: what's your favorite color? What's your mother's maiden name? And you can get those. You can, if you're in a face-to-face meeting with the client in their home, you can do the entire paper application, and then when you get back to your office or your home later in the day, submit it electronically. Just make sure they answer, what's your mother's maiden name? You type in Smith, and you're good to go. That app is submitted directly to underwriting. And you just saw the statistics from Chris: extremely fast speed to issue or decision, rather, utilizing the electronic tools. If you're doing paper, you're going to have the back and forth of the whole faxing process. It's just not nearly as good of a process as our electronic process. The other way to do quoting, we have a smartphone app called Quotes on the Go. Quotes on the Go, just type that in either on your Apple store or your Android store, and you can bring that up. You cannot do an enrollment there, but you can run a quote. If you run into someone at the grocery store and they want a quick quote on something, you can quote all of our Aetna SSI products using that app. It's either in your purse or your back pocket at your fingertips. As far as training on this, we have a number of trainings kind of continually offered. AETNAseniorproducts.com, log in, and there's a training tab at the top of the page. We have an upcoming training on the website in general, just kind of an overview of the entire website. That is on April 14th, 12 to 1:30 p.m. There is actually a quote and enroll training going on right now. Obviously, we can't jump on that because we're all here, but there's a follow-up to that on April 22nd from 2 to 3 p.m. AETNA quote and enroll training. It'll just do an overview of the entire quote and enrollment process for you. But what I would tell you is these are pretty intuitive tools. Just spend a little bit of time, just carve it out in your calendar, 15, 20 minutes, and just jump onto the website, aetnaseniorproducts.com, and do a fake enrollment. And by the time you've done 3 of those, you're going to be sitting with your client for the 4th time you're doing it and be a totally polished professional and get right through the application. If you wait until the first time you see it, you're sitting with a client, it's probably not going to be the experience you want. Not that it's a difficult tool. It's just like any other online app. There are different nuances for different apps or different application processes. And if you haven't seen it before, it's going to be a little bit wonky. So definitely do that. It's very intuitive. There is a sandbox functionality there. So you can do a fake application in the sandbox and or use the live field and just don't submit it. But either way, you can walk through the app process. So that is by far the best suggestion I can give you. Do everything electronically. I'll just tell you a story. I got an agent call a few weeks ago and he said, "You have the worst application I've ever seen in my life. Can't stand it. It's so difficult." And one, I can't understand how he would find it to be that difficult because it's really not. But of course, he waited for the first time he saw it. He's sitting with a client, and it was just, not the experience he wanted because everything's new to him. But so I impersonated him and went in and realized that his client had, in fact, not signed the application that he thought he signed, that the agent thought was signed. So we backed out. He called his client, got the middle name, and went back in, submitted it with a security question signature, and had a decision within 2 minutes of submission. So this entire phone call took about 15 minutes. He probably is our biggest fan. He's now a cheerleader for the AETNA app process. So absolutely use that. One other way that I think you can significantly simplify your life as far as getting questions answered on that aetnaseniorproducts.com website, there is a chat functionality that's been added a couple months ago. Top right of the page, the home page there, it's a chat function. We have senior customer service folks manning that chat line, so you can quickly and easily get very accurate information on pretty a wide variety of questions you might have, in addition to reaching out to your local sales support team, me and Tony and our counterpart in the office. So please let us know what we can do to help. I will pass it back over to you, Tony, for Q&A.
Okay, well, thanks everybody. Thanks, Dan. That was great information. A lot of information you covered there too. We certainly have a lot of tools available for the agents, and it's whatever makes you more comfortable. I know even just having that Quotes on the Go app on my Apple phone, and you can get it on the Android for the Google Store and so forth. But just having that right at your fingertips to be able to run a quick quote without having to go to the website, log in, do your quote and roll. It really is something that's made life significantly easier, and hopefully you'll all find those tools, whether it's the chat feature, the actual enrollment electronically, or that quote and enroll tool, et cetera, to be of tremendous value to you. I guess, Mandy, at this point, are you collecting questions by chance, Mandy, or how?
I am. Yep, I've got a list of questions to ask you guys.
Okay, why don't we just take? We've got plenty of time, I think. So let's just go ahead and start going down through some of them, and we'll throw them around.
Okay, so let's start off here. The first one we got was, I believe they were probably referencing recovery care, but they asked, is the waiting period pre or post filing a claim?
Jamie, do you want to take some of these?
Yes,
Perfect.
sir. I'll jump on that. The waiting period, I'm assuming they're not talking about pre-existing conditions. They're talking about the actual when will the coverage start. So if you take the options are 0 day, 20 day, and the 100 day. So it's going to be when you start the care, whether it be nursing facility care, you're actually going to have to be in the nursing facility, self-paying during that period of time until you reach the deductible period, the waiting period. As far as home care goes, same thing does apply. You're going to have to receive the care during the, well, guess what? On recovery care, there is no waiting period for the home care rider. So you don't have to worry about it there. It'd be strictly nursing home or assisted living. So yes, you would have to be in the facility receiving care for the allotted days. If you have a 20-day waiting period, you're going to need to be in there 20 days, and on the 21st, Aetna will start paying.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Next question here was, and Jamie, you'll probably touch on this one. They asked, can you review again the different settings of care between recovery care versus home care plus? So, in specifically, they asked again, like home care plus, would it help with bathing or meal prep?
Home care plus is not going to do that. And a good way to know that is this. If you have an individual that's healthy enough to get the home care rider on the recovery care, you're going to want them to have that rider because it's more versatile, gives them more freedom to choose any home health care agency. Under the home care plus, it really is for medically necessary. So what they're saying is it needs to be more of a skilled home health care agency. And skilled home health care agencies are going to take care of things like I said, physical therapy, speech therapy, the cooking meals, or just sitting with someone. It's not going to pay for those things. And a good rule of thumb is this: if the nursing facility, if the nursing home agency, and I apologize. If the home care agency, there, I got it straight, accepts Medicare, Medicare will only use skilled home health care agencies, and that is the perfect one that you would want coming in under the home care plus. Under recovery care, home care, you can have anyone. That's going to be the one that you want your mom and dad to be on if their health is where it needs to be. The home care plus, I would only use when they cannot pass the underwriting on recovery care. Sorry, lost my train of thought there.
No, you're fine.
That's okay. You do it all the time.
Okay. Let's see. Lots of questions about Florida. So another general question that someone asked was, do you guys have plans to expand the coverage to additional states where either of these products aren't available yet? A lot of questions about will it ever be available in Florida specifically.
Tony, I can jump on that one too. I can tell you, Aetna wants to be in every state. They really do. They would be in every state if they could. It's each state has their own Department of Insurance, and they make the rules on if they want to have that within their state. So typically, you will not see any short-term care in Florida, in Washington State, in California, in New York. If you ever see or know of a competitor that has short-term care that Aetna's not in, please let Tony know or Dan know, and maybe they changed their ruling there and Aetna doesn't know about it yet. So if you know of some states that do not have it, please let them know. But Florida just will not let short-term care in the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great question.
Okay, let's see. Another one here was, are people on disability eligible for either of these products?
Chris, you stop me if I'm wrong, but if they're on disability, if they can answer no to all the health questions and they do not take any knockout drugs on their RX, they're eligible just as anyone else would be eligible. Am I correct there?
100% correct. Said it just like I would have said it.
I'm learning. Thank you.
Okay, just a couple more here. So this one might be more for Tony or Dan maybe. Someone asked, may I use the Aetna logo to kind of as for this product on my business website?
Yeah, we actually have this is Tony. We do have a process for utilizing, the Aetna name on those sites and things, and it can be done. There's kind of a process you have to go through to get approval, but yeah, it can be done.
Yeah, this is Dan. Reach out to me and I'll walk you through where to access the request link.
I believe, Dan, can you, I think in my mind, I'm thinking you can do it from our website. Can you still do it from there?
Yes, you can.
You have to have a special link to get to.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Tony, it's under the products tab at the top of the page. There is a request to use the logo there.
Right. Yes, that's what I was thinking. It was still on there. I didn't know if we moved it or if we'd taken it away. But yeah, that process is. If you need some help, just reach whoever that is, or if there's, just let us know, Dan or myself.
Yeah, I will. We've had a couple people inquire about Aetna logos, Facebook ads as well, utilizing those. So I will take down their information and get them in touch with one of you guys or someone who can help them with that.
Sure.
It's under the products tab under agent flyers and ads.
Yeah, so if they basically, Mandy, if they go to AETNASeniorProducts.com, and as Dan said, if they, under the products tab, they can actually just fill that out. It's all online.
Okay. Alrighty, I will touch base with these guys and direct them that way for you.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, looks like we just have one or two more questions. Let's see. Oh, someone asked about if there's a demo of the e-app, and I know, Dan, you said that there was a webinar coming up about how to use the e-app. Would you want to relay when that's coming up again so people can write it down?
Absolutely. So 2 important trainings kind of along those lines. So there's a general website training, April 14th, so in just a couple days, 12 to 1:30 p.m. And on April 22nd, from 2 to 3 p.m. is the Aetna Quote and Enroll tool training. And both of those can be accessed and signed up for. It'll actually send you a reminder, which can be handy at times, that the training is happening the next day under the training tab under webinars. So log into AETNASeniorProducts.com, hover over the training tab at the top of the page, and then you'll see webinars. And it's view upcoming webinars, I think is what it says, and then you can sign up for the webinar there.
Yeah, and I would add too on that same note that, we do offer a variety of, as many of you probably know, I know your specialty is the short-term care, long-term care marketplace, but we do have also webinar training on, like our dental, vision, and hearing, our hospital indemnity, final expense, different things like that. So if there's something else you may be interested in, just go ahead and sign up for it. And, again, as Dan said, you'll get notified as a reminder to put on your calendar and so forth. And, if you just want to learn a little bit more about some of the other products that we offer, we have that available as well.
Yeah, and there are pre-recorded trainings as well. I think the live ones tend to be more impactful because you can get questions answered as the training is going on. But you have agent-facing training videos and then also some client-facing training videos. So if you're an agent who does a lot of, let's say, MAPD production, and you're used to using videos, compliance-type videos for MAPD, and you like that format with your clients, you can also access training videos that are client-facing on the Aetna Senior supplemental products as well.
Okay, another question came in here. They asked, are the benefits taxable? So does tax reporting of the benefits being paid to the client essentially is what they're asking, is that a taxable amount of money?
I can answer that one. It is not taxable. They will not receive any 1099. Benefits are not taxable.
Okay, and then I think I had one more here. Just a couple questions again on if it's about quotes on the go. So we've got some questions about if it's available for Android and Apple, which I believe, Dan, you said it should be available for both. And then another person inquired if quotes on the go, if it works just the same as an iPad as it would on their mobile phone.
Yes, it would. I don't know, Jamie, do you have that on your iPad? I know you use iPad all the time. Do you have that quote and roll on there?
I do. The quotes on the go works perfect on iPad. Also, I use that quite often. You can enlarge it; it'll be as big as your screen. So yes, works very well.
Yeah, and it's just simple. Just go and make sure when you go, folks, when you go to download that or look for it, don't look for AETNA. Look for actually quotes on the go. Okay, and then it'll come up. It'll be purple, and it'll have the AETNA name on it. But if you just search for AETNA, you might find a million different things out there, apps or whatever. But it'll actually say, I've had some people do that. I just thought of that, is that you want to make sure you're looking for quotes on the go, and you'll find it. The same way in the Google Store as well, Google Play Store.
Okay, well, that concludes the question. Sorry. So first of all, thank you everyone, Chris, Dan, Jamie, Tony, for coming and talking to our audience today about the short-term care products. We really appreciate you being here. So thank you again. We hope to have you back soon to do more of these. It's very highly requested webinar information for us, so we plan to get you back on the book sometime soon. And as far as our audience, thank you guys for attending today. If you have any further questions about the short-term care products by Aetna, please don't hesitate to reach out to Katie or myself here at Premier Senior Marketing. We'd be happy to answer any questions for you and get you all set up and ready to go on these products. So with that, have a great day, everyone, and we hope to see you on our next presentation.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody, for joining us and allowing us to be here with you today. Have a good day.